Winning cures everything. Now for your hosts, Gary and Chris.
Good afternoon. Welcome in. Winning cures everything. This is the Tuesday, May 19th edition of the show, and we are early today. I'm Gary.
I'm Chris.
And we've got a whole bunch going on. First things first, though, you can find us over at winningcureseverything.com. All of our picks, previews, podcasts, videos, social media platforms. You can subscribe anywhere that we are live, which would be Periscope. McKenna jumps in on Facebook. Said early day, boys. Yeah, definitely early day. Chris has got some stuff going on. He's got to get out. Usually it's me. Today it's him, and that's all right. We do this whenever we can. But Periscope, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube are the live streams. And then you've got all your favorite podcast apps, or you can go back and watch the video later on anywhere else. Michael jumps in on Twitch already, said, "What's up, fellas?" Yeah, again, early day, but that's all right. We're going to get this thing rolling. We got to get out. We've got a hard out today. So we've got things that we want to talk about. The show brought to you by Tunica, Mississippi, the South's premier sports gambling destination. They've got 6 incredible sports books. You can go find more information on them over at tunicatravel.com. The casinos are opening. They've all got different dates that they're opening. I said yesterday they're all open. They're not yet. I know that Horseshoe is opening next Monday on Memorial Day. I know that Sam's Town and whatnot will be opening, I think, on Wednesday. I think, all sorts of stuff. So all of that information is at tunicatravel.com. Go check it out. Tunica, Mississippi, the South's premier sports gambling destination. Let's go ahead and fire it. Matt already jumps in on YouTube, said, "What's up?" Let's dive into the biggest topic of the day, which isn't really sports related, but
it's not sports related at all. But that's okay.
Well, I mean, he's an MMA guy. I mean, he's UFC, but either way. Matt said, "I wasn't going to miss the show. I'm holding off on my afternoon nap." Well, we appreciate that. I don't get those anymore. I don't get to have those. Maybe on Sundays. Joe Rogan and the Joe Rogan Experience. His podcast is moving to Spotify. Now, typically, before we discuss, Ben said, approximately how much LSU stuff do you have, Chris?
A little bit.
Would you say thousands of dollars worth?
No, absolutely not. I literally only own this hat and like 7 T-shirts.
I own way more Alabama stuff than Chris has.
That picture cost me nothing.
Yeah.
And that was a gift.
There you go. No,
those were gifts, and I own like 7 T-shirts. So I got a lot of T-shirts, all right? I got a lot of T-shirts, and I own this hat.
Matt said the real question.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of sports shit. It's just all I wear because I'm fortunate enough to own my own company, be my own boss, and say, I'm going to wear a T-shirt today.
There you go. Matt said, "I'm stealing back that coin. Tell people about that coin." Yeah. Matt gave me a 93 Alabama football season coin or what. It wasn't the national championship year. Way back when. Michael said, "More Bama or Memphis gear, Gary?" Absolutely more Alabama gear. I own.
You see how he just crapped on your gift, Huey? It's
a great coin.
It wasn't a national championship year, but it was a nice coin.
It was a good coin.
Did you get that dig? I caught that dig. I caught the hell out of that dig. Oh, well, thanks, but it wasn't a national championship year one.
So
it'd have been better. It'd have been better if you'd have got him a national championship coin.
Matt said the real question is how much Bama stuff Gary has. I have infinitely more Alabama gear than you have any sports gear. I've got thousands of dollars. I mean, I've got it in storage. I've got, everywhere. So I don't.
No, I'm just not. Now, I would say I'm not a collector of stuff. These toys up here, I literally found when cleaning out the attic when we first went into quarantine. Those are not collector's items. Those are half broken. One of them have an arm glued to them. They were used. They were played with. I've never been a memorabilia guy. There's stuff that I see that I wish I had, that I think about wanting. I just don't collect things, man.
Oh yeah. No, I'm with you. I
don't do it. There's nothing against people. It's just, I just never have.
Michael said no TP shortage at Gary's house. Nope, not at all. Not at all. Matt said it was a 92 national championship coin, and I left it at his house. He said he held that thing for years, gave it back, and Bama started. I do remember that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. And Michael, I got your joke with the thousands of dollars worth of TP. You get out of here with your Texas Aggies bullcrap, man.
Yeah.
We don't need that. All right, let me try and refocus the show here now that we're 5 minutes in.
All right.
Joe Rogan is headed to Spotify. The Joe Rogan Experience is the most downloaded podcast in the world. I don't even know that it's close.
Nope.
He has, on average, over 190 million downloads every month. Now, to go on and give you an idea, we have built up from the ground up, from nothing into something.
And we weren't famous when we started. He was already an incredibly famous person when he first started his podcast. So day one, he had tens of thousands of listeners.
I'll give you an insight into us. We average, just our podcast, not the videos, anything like that, just the podcast. We average like 7,000 downloads a month.
Tens of people listen to this.
Yes, it's not crazy. We get, hundreds per episode, but it's not like but it's still pretty good when you're thinking about the fact that you got people across the country.
We do this, we have a good time. Yeah. That's great.
He gets 190 million. Now, we do it daily. Yeah. He does it, 3 days a week?
No, he's 5 days a week. He's daily.
He's daily now. He
was always daily. If you go back and look, it was always 5 a week.
I thought he was like Monday, Wednesday, Friday for a long time.
No, I mean, he might have gone into a point where he did that, but for the most part, he tries to pump out 5 a week.
Yeah, especially now during the pandemic and everything. So.
But even before then, it was always they're always pre-recorded.
Either way,
he didn't pump anything out live.
No. Well, I mean, he does on YouTube, but not for podcast.
They haven't done live on YouTube in over a year.
Have they not?
No.
Damn.
He kept getting in a bunch of trouble showing things, and they want to make sure they can edit stuff out because they were getting lawsuits because something was copyrighted that they showed in the background.
Oh, and then they couldn't monetize it and whatever. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Michael said, I do need to get some WCE swag. Matt said, I need WCE things for my office. Yeah, we need to hook that up.
We talked about that. We kicked around some ideas for different stuff.
I've still got a couple of those shirts that you gave me, Chris. If you guys will DM me and give me an address, I'll send them out. I'll send you some shirts. So we'll get you taken care of one way or another.
If you're not like a normal extra large size, let us know. We'll get you a shirt.
Yeah, we'll get you taken care of. McKinnon said, all depends on his comedy gigs or his hunting trips as to whether or not he's daily. But here's the thing: 190 million downloads every month. The numbers that we read last year, he made $90 million.
So let's talk about the dollars, because I don't care about downloads because I don't understand that world. That's Gary's world. I go to the bank. Okay.
Yeah.
Last year there was a report from some website article
Forbes
group that but they were only tracking podcast. This is just podcast money and revenue. He was number one with $90 million straight from his podcast. It's not his YouTube channel or any other streams revenue. That's just $90 million from the podcast. The number two was like two of the chicks that do the your favorite murderer kind of guy thing, whatever. And they were, I think they were like $30 million, which is a metric shit ton of money to two jokers that are talking to tens of people. All right. But B, there is a chasm there. And then between them and the fifth place person was like, they were 30 and the fifth place person was like 18 million. And then everyone in between was, 5 to 6 million apart. Like they're all pretty close. And then there's literally a Grand Canyon of money between Joe and them. Yes. You would have to take three of the number two podcasts, combine them together to equal what he brings in. Putting them behind Spotify only and taking them off of Apple and Google and all the other podcasting networks. My first question and fear was, because Spotify does have a paywall, right? Like there are exclusive things that you can pay for through Spotify. I was afraid, and we're not 100% certain here.
No, we're certain. I saw the details on that part.
It's not going to be behind their paywall.
It is not behind the paywall. You just have to be.
Then I'm good, because I'll still use Spotify, but I won't. I can't pay for any more subscription shit. I just can't do it.
Well, nobody on earth can pay for every subscription. That's the problem that comes with cutting the cord, right? Like you can't pay for every single channel. Like you're going to have to pick and choose what you pay for, because everybody wants $10. Well, $10 doesn't sound like much per month. But when you start adding it up and you've got 19
subscriptions, now I'm at a $200 thing a month.
Like, why not just get cable at that point, which is the same thing. Matt said he had to get his workouts in, then go hunt, smoke some hash, then butcher deer in front of vegans. And then he asked, what was Stern at back in the day? Stern never did podcasts.
No, Stern's never done a podcast. I don't remember the deal. Do you remember how much it was?
$500 million over 10 years.
Yeah. So $50 million a year. And that was what, 30 years ago, 20 years ago? He went to Sirius?
No. It wasn't 20. It was,
I think it was 20. I was in college, man.
No, it wasn't 20 years ago though. Maybe 15, maybe.
Okay, well, college is more 15 years. That's probably right.
Yeah, maybe 15. Ben said, "How is Pat McAfee not first?"
He ain't close. He wouldn't even top. He's not even top 100.
No, not even anywhere. Now he does make a really good living. He doesn't focus on his podcast anymore though. He's got a radio show, so it's completely different. Michael said that's how they get you 10 here, 10 there. Yeah, 100%. I mean, everybody wants to get theirs. McKinnon said Joe is also extremely diversified in comedy, podcasts, supplements, gym ownership, etc. Yeah, but we're not talking about any of the other stuff.
We're not talking about.
We're talking about podcasts.
I'm talking about just his podcast money alone because that was public record from Forbes.
Yes,
$90 million from one revenue stream.
Oh yeah, Matt said Joe is just an average guy, very open to people and ideas. When he interviews people, he has a questioning mind. It's incredible. Yeah.
He is the best long form interviewer in the world.
Yes.
Okay. 2020 and all those old news plays, Walter Cronkite, none of those guys have anything on Joe when it comes to questioning, and he's not afraid to call even his friends. He's not afraid to call them out on their bullshit. When they say ridiculous things on his show, he'll stop them and say, "Whoa, hang on.
Yeah.
Is that real? Like, did you just make that? Like, you can't just come on here and say shit."
Oh, and he does it with people that
for that so much.
He does it with people he doesn't know as well. Like,
anybody. He just treats everybody the same. And my biggest thing, like, we all love Joe, and he's one of the most popular guys. But 80% of why he's so likable, he really seems to be the most reasonable person alive, and that's literally my only goal in life is to just be reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care about being agreeable all the time, but I need to have rational thought and I need to have logic behind it. And if it's nonsense, then I'm okay with nonsense, but I need to make sure it's clear what I'm saying is nonsense in my opinion.
Yeah.
But for the most part, and that's why he's trusted. That's why people love him, is because I trust everything coming out of his mouth. He truly, honestly believes. And if it's nonsense and he doesn't believe it and it's just goofy and him being silly or fun, he lets you know that.
Yeah. No, I agree with that part. Now, what I'm curious about, because not only are they taking it where it's a podcast exclusive on Spotify only, they are also moving his full episodes off of YouTube. Mm-hmm. Now, they're still going to allow some clips, but to get the full show, including video, because Spotify is moving into video podcasts.
It was getting into video, yep.
The amount of money that they would have to be paying him.
Now, we don't have any disclosures of money. We have no idea what this deal is worth right now.
Right. So right now we're guessing, which is, again, a hypothetical, but it's kind of fun at this point because he has to be made, that Spotify had to give him such an outrageous deal. Because right now, if anybody searches on Google or wherever else, they pull him up on YouTube. He's able to monetize YouTube. He's able to monetize basically everything. He's not exclusive to anyone, but he has never been on Spotify. His podcast is not on Spotify right now. We are. He's not. But he did that on purpose, I think. Now, I don't know that. But either way, it seems like he would have done it on purpose because it's so easy. Like, I mean, we hooked it up and it was, like that. Just nothing. So I think that this was a
I just want to know why you would have left them off, because he couldn't have foreseen that. Well, I won't let them be on. I won't be on their platform at all. And then one day they'll come calling and offer me a sweetheart deal. And I don't
think he saw that. I think like he was already comfortable with what he had and he didn't want to add anything else. Like there's no reason to split it up where he's got to go search for anything else. He's already making enough. He's already doing whatever. If you think about $90 million just off the podcast, then the YouTube stuff, I mean, every single day he is getting tens of millions of hits on YouTube. That is worth millions of dollars a year. More than likely, he's making $50 million a year off of YouTube.
Yep.
For them to take him exclusively to Spotify, they've got to be paying him at least $200 million a year.
So I thought 150. I thought 150 is what I would guess.
I mean, 150 is probably close to what he's making anyway.
Yes, but right now he's actually having to do all those other things. And now he just shows up, talks into a mic, and sends it to Spotify.
I mean, that is a good point.
That extra work is not work. It's just something he doesn't have to deal with.
Well, I think the other side is, Matt said, have you seen his kettlebells? Yeah, they're ridiculous. Yeah. No, I think the other side of this is you're also taking away his ability to be in front of an even bigger audience, right? So you got to pay him for that as well. Like, you got to pay for the exclusivity.
Well, I don't know. I bet his numbers don't go down at all. I bet Spotify's numbers jump through the roof.
Oh, I bet their numbers do as well.
People who are Joe Rogan fans aren't going to just say, oh, well, I guess I won't listen anymore. No, it's free. I'm going to download this app, and I'm going to still listen. I'm just going to get in the habit of using this new app that outside of the other app. I had to do that with a couple of the shows that I've listened to that, that's
you just got to start listening on other things.
Yeah. And so now it's easy for me to just move to that platform when I want to look for stuff. Yeah. That's okay.
No, I think there will be a dip at first. And eventually over time, most everybody will switch over.
I bet that dip lasts less than a week.
You might be right. But so it starts in September that he will be on Spotify, but it's not exclusive in September. It's exclusive starting January 1, 2021. So big time news. I mean, that's pretty massive. That's the biggest name in this realm. And I mean, he found out how to make it work for him. So cheers to Joe Rogan. Let's go on and jump topics. Let's move over to Athlon. Now, Athlon does their college football preview every year. They've set it up for you to pre-order their college football preview for 2020. They are ready to rock and roll, and with that, they have put out their projected final top 25 for after the 2020 season. This is how they think it is going to end up, and I'm going to go super fast. We've got 6 SEC teams here. 25 Iowa, 24 Virginia Tech, 23 Boise State, 22 UCF, 21 Cincy, number 20 Minnesota, number 19 USC, number 18 North Carolina, 17 Iowa State, 16 Texas. Now we get into the top 15. Number 15 Michigan, number 14 Oklahoma State, number 13 Auburn, number 12 Wisconsin, number 11 Texas A&M. I found that a little crazy because there is a strong chance A&M is 10-0 going into the last 2 games of the year against Alabama and LSU. For them to finish 11, they would probably have to lose both of those and win a bowl game, I guess. And even then, they still might be top 10. Number 10, Oregon. That was a little surprising to me. What are your thoughts on that? They've got Anthony Brown transferred in from Boston College. Oregon as a top 10 team this year after losing, a ton on defense. They lose their quarterback. They do have a transfer quarterback coming in. Oregon as a top 10 team seemed maybe reaching a bit. Does that feel like it to you?
I have no opinion about this. This is your topic. This is your segment. I think this is the dumbest thing on the planet.
I enjoy the early top 25s. I don't jump into a lot of them.
Before the season starts, we know only like 6 teams in the whole country have a chance to win it all. So the only thing that we do to check are they ever right or not is, they picked Alabama and Clemson 1-2 and Ohio State 3. So they're pretty good at this, right?
Have you looked at this?
They're absolutely not good at this. This doesn't mean anything at all, ever.
Matt said they should not even rank teams until about week 5.
This is the dumbest thing that we talk about, but it's something that Gary likes. So go ahead.
And we've got a lot of people that do pay attention. So number 9 Notre Dame, number 8 LSU, number 7 Georgia, number 6 Florida. They think Florida is going to be better than Georgia this year. Now we get into our top 5. Number 5, they've got Penn State. Found that a little surprising. I don't know that they've got the quarterback to be able to do that, and here's the top 4, and you haven't looked at this at all, have you?
Mm-mm.
But you can already tell who the top 4 is going to be.
Alabama,
right?
Clemson, Ohio State are going to be 1, 2, 3. I have no. I don't know who you. I haven't paid attention to who you've said and who you've not said, but I'm sure there's a big name team that you didn't mention already that's going to be there.
That would be Oklahoma at 4.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. That sounds correct.
Of course. So Oklahoma 4, Ohio State 3, Alabama 2, Clemson 1.
Nobody knows who Oklahoma's quarterback's going to be, but that's fine.
Well, it'll be Spencer Rattler.
Okay.
And he was the number 1 quarterback in the country coming out 2 years ago. This is his sophomore season.
Couldn't beat out Kyler Murray. Couldn't beat out Jalen Hurts.
Well, no, he was coming in right after Kyler, but he couldn't beat out Jalen last year. So, or no, maybe he's a redshirt sophomore. Either way, let's see. Ben said, "Why is Oklahoma State so high?" Because they got a ton of dudes coming back. I mean, they got at star wide receiver coming back. They got Chuba coming back.
On paper. That's why they're so high.
Yeah. That's it. They got a ton of talent coming back. Guys coming off injuries, etc. I mean, we'll see. And they've got a reasonable schedule this year. Like there's no reason they shouldn't win 9 games this year. Matt said it's hard to say a team beat a top 10 team week 1 and then that team sucks the rest of the year. Then the team that beat them gets credit for beating a top 10 team. Yeah, they've changed it up a little bit as it's gone on. Michael said, I agree, Matt. At the end of the year, they give teams credit for beating ranked teams early, and they're no longer ranked as high or even ranked. Last year, they kind of changed that up a little bit. Because honestly, like LSU beat, 7 top 10 teams last year? Like 11. At the time?
11.
11 top. That's impossible.
Shit, I just made stuff up. Who cares? What does it matter?
They beat 7.
They beat the hell out of everybody they played.
Yeah, but they beat 7 top 10 teams at the time that they were ranked.
Yeah, but Texas, sorry, Matt, Texas is not a top 10 team.
Right.
They weren't close to a top 10 team. We beat the shit out of them, and it didn't matter.
So, and then Alabama, when you guys beat Alabama, was ranked number 3, and then at the end of it, they were number 13 going into the playoff, which is insane, but it's still, the rankings are insane.
Correct.
So
they played 2 good teams throughout the regular season, lost both games.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're supposed to do with that.
I mean, I guess, okay, you got a valid point. You got a point. So
Did you beat a ranked team the entire year?
No, but we didn't lose to any unranked teams either. I mean, that lost to
lost
to LSU right. And lost at Auburn.
Credit for not losing to a team worse than Memphis. Good job. Good job. We'll give you a gold star. We'll make you another silver coin that you can have.
I'm good on the silver coin. It's all good. And it wasn't so. I think it was bronze or something like that. McKinnon said, "Beat the hell out of everyone but Auburn."
Shitting on your coin again, man. Can't even just let it be.
No, it wasn't silver. It's what I'm saying. It was like
but nobody knows that, and nobody cares.
Oh my God!
Let it move on. It's a fact that doesn't change anything.
I'm really my wife.
Matt's gift.
My wife got on to me about that, by the way. About just random details that don't matter. I don't know why I do that. Been doing it for years though.
All the time.
Michael said top 25 ranking is all about making those early week games have better ratings. But
I mean, now hang on. I'll argue with anybody all day long. Alabama playing USC. Alabama doesn't have to be ranked number 1 preseason to make that a good ranked rating.
A good
game.
matchup. Yeah.
Like that's a terrible argument. Does the team have a big following? Is it a big school? Then they're going to have, if Notre Dame was ranked 28th instead of 9th, guess what? Their first game of the year still going to be a pretty big matchup for television ratings.
100%.
Like ratings care about fan bases and followings, not rankings. I'm just going to argue that to the end of life. It doesn't matter.
There you go. Matt said it's a bronze coin, and then he said, "I'm getting that thing back." You have to come in from Texas to get that, buddy.
Come on, I'll help you.
No chance.
I know where you stay.
I got locks on the doors, bruh. It's all good. Let's move off the top 25 here. I think it's pretty common. Until Saban moves or Dabo or Ryan Day or whatever, you're going to have Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson in the top 4.
And it doesn't
from now
matter
until the end of
because
time.
That's not where they're going to finish every year.
Yeah.
Because last year Alabama was number 1 and they didn't finish in the top 10.
Exactly.
So what does it matter?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Let's jump into a very interesting topic. You and I discussed The Last Dance yesterday, and, one of the things we brought up was Michael Jordan being poisoned before his quote-unquote flu game, right? Now, it seemed a little strange, odd, and we just talked it up to being a different time, different time period, whatever. Dan Wetzel found this. It was 1280 The Zone is the interview, He said, former assistant manager at a Utah Pizza Hut says he didn't poison MJ during 98 finals. He made and delivered large thin crust pepperoni himself, was a big Chicago fan, named his son after Michael Jordan, had money on the Bulls. The poisoning story, he said, is, quote, a bunch of crap. Now, is it out of the realm of possibility that Michael Jordan maybe just had a few too many, Miller Lights and a few too many cigars running late into that night and had his team of dudes trained up on how to react to this story? Like, oh, yeah, he got poisoned. Oh, this was crazy. We knew what was up. Which side would you lean on this?
I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. I think this guy saying he's the guy that made the pizza is going to be one of 92 people coming out of the woodworks to say, I'm the guy that made the pizza.
Yeah. Okay. You might be right about that. It could be any number of people. I think it's just.
I'm going to need to see a call log and a receipt before I believe anybody saying they're the person that made the pizza. All right. We sent, like 7 people in to kill bin Laden, and at some point in time, all 7 of them were like, I'm the one that shot him. These are the most honorable people
probably 20
on the
people
planet.
by now. Yeah.
Okay? These are the most noble and honorable men that we have in our country to offer. And they all lied.
Yeah.
Except one. All right? All of them. So what do I think about some rando pizza dude from Utah? All right? I think he's trying to sell pies. That's what I think he's trying to do.
It's entirely possible.
I think you're going to be a bunch of other pizza guys coming out of the woodwork saying, I'm the one that sold it, and I did poison it. Booyah, a long time ago, statute of limitations is over, and all the Utah Jazz fans are going to be like, we're going to that guy's store for the rest of our life.
Let's see. So let's jump into these comments here. Michael, jumping back on that last topic, said, I agree, Chris. I'm saying for the casual fan that might tune in on Saturday night who sees the top 10 matchup. Yeah, I can understand that side of it, but overall ratings are dictated by who has the bigger fan base. That's the way it goes. But yes, I top 10 matchup. Yeah, obviously you want to draw people in.
I still hate all the preseason crap.
McKinnon said Auburn could be scary good this year depending on the defense. Get out of here. Joseph Gomez said Gary has got that killer Chihuahua at the house. Be careful, Chris. She's an ankle breaker.
She's sweet to me.
I don't have no damn Chihuahua, man. It's a Fox Terrier Corgi Rescue.
She is sweet as hell to me.
She's mean as hell to other people, but she loves Chris.
I know.
She loves Chris.
Likes me.
Joseph Gomez said, I think Isaiah Thomas made the pizza.
Isaiah Thomas can't make pizza.
Yeah, you're right. Matt said, that's like listing on your resume you were a general manager at Toys R Us. Like, who can anyone call to verify that?
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
Yeah, literally. Like, okay.
Davian said, who cares who made the damn pizza? Like, the reason we're bringing this up is because people are claiming that they made the pizza.
So let's stop and let's do a different part of this.
Okay.
Do we think it was actually? So hang on.
That's the real question. I'm not worried about the pizza.
You can also get food poisoning without somebody nefariously trying to poison you. It happens every day, by the way.
Or you could just get a stomach bug.
Yeah,
which is what we've been dealing with in our house for a week.
The stomach bug thing is tough because it runs through everybody. His entourage is pretty close to him. If he's the only guy that's sick and nobody else in the locker room, on the team, or any of his security guys ever get sick, that it's tough to say it's a stomach bug because you've all lived with somebody, and rarely does one dude get it and nobody else get it. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So that's my logic behind that. Now, once again, I'm not a doctor. Used to play one when I was little, but that's different. I just think there's a chance that he just ate something bad, and it could have been it could have been
on the pizza. Yeah,
that's perfectly okay, and it couldn't have been poison. It could have been fine. He obviously was sick with something, and it also could have been a hangover. But I'm gonna tell you this: the reason I don't think it's a hangover is flat out that man historically drank and partied his ass off before games. I mean, we even went through on one of the episodes where he played like 36 holes of golf in one day and drank the entire day and then went and played a game that night.
And scored like 40 points. Just ridiculous.
So it's just one of those things where hangover tough because he was never known for a hard liquor kind of guy.
No,
there's not enough Miller Lights. If you're a regular drinker, there's not enough light beers that you can drink to get that drunk.
No, you're right.
You'll get sick from just too much stuff in your stomach.
Oh yeah.
You just can't drink that much, especially as great a shape that he was in. His body, his metabolism is just firing like a piston, man.
Michael said it's hard to question athletes' injuries, but I do think that sometimes they may over-exaggerate to make the performance look better or blame it for the poor play.
Today, I question all of them. I mean, do we remember LeBron James being carried off of the court?
Well, Paul Pierce too. Like the Paul Pierce thing ended up. Yeah, he shit his pants.
Paul Pierce couldn't walk because he had shit going down his leg. That's different. Let me ask you this. How low on the totem pole do you have to be of a player, a teammate of Paul? How big of a star does that other guy have to be for him to be like, hey, man, I just shit myself and I can't walk to the locker room. Can y'all grab my legs and carry me?
Tony Allen was the one that carried him. Tony Allen was one of the guys, and he said he didn't know that Paul told him he was hurt.
He shit himself.
Yeah, he told him that he was hurt, and then they carry him back to the locker room, and then all of a sudden,
Allen must not have had kids by then, because you hold somebody for 2 seconds who shit themselves, and you instantly know you shit yourself.
No, I don't think he did back then. He got little ones, man. You know how it is.
Oh, his kids are pretty little right now.
His kids are young.
He didn't have kids, baby. Okay, all right, he gets a pass. But that's you.
I mean, you got to know.
Tell your friends if they're carrying you, hey, man, be careful. I shit myself.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. I think that's fair. Ben said,
got it. Listen, we're going to keep this between us,
but I
need you to know that's just courtesy.
And then it's going to make me look good when I come back out, and we ain't going to tell anybody about it. Now, they did tell about it.
But now LeBron, he got that cramp, and, I mean, it looked like he died.
Oh,
I mean, he looked like he died.
Oh, 100%. But, he's been doing that his entire career. Let's see. Ben said the pizza was poisoned. He said they could just suck at making pizza. Yeah. Matt said.
I mean. I've come to my life in conspiracy theories that if you can blame it on incompetence more than evil, it probably is that.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Because there aren't as many mastermind geniuses out there that are nefariously going around and doing things that are terrible. Okay. Usually it's, if it can be blamed on incompetence, that's the reason.
These YouTube comments are just killers right now. Matt said it was COVID-19. Ben said, did they get the pizza from Domino's? Damien said maybe Jordan's ex-wife hired someone to poison him. That's entirely possible. Matt said
she needed that meal ticket, baby.
Oh, you got that right.
No, you don't kill the golden goose.
Matt said it's not like that little Caesar's pizza we used to get back in the day. Ben said there was a murder hornet in the crust. And then Damien said, damn, Papa John's. For everybody that wasn't paying attention at the very beginning, it was a Pizza Hut pizza. That's what it was. But even still.
Was it a Pizza Hut? Do we know that?
Yeah, it was Pizza Hut. Yeah.
So they said that it was Pizza Hut? I don't remember.
No, they didn't say the place on the show because obviously that's disparagement and you can get in trouble for that, especially if there's no proof that it was true or not. But, I mean, that would have – something like that coming on that documentary, I mean, stock for Pizza Hut would have dropped almost immediately. Like, I mean, it's just ridiculous.
But hang on. So how do we know it was Pizza Hut?
Because the Pizza Hut was the one that was open near the hotel that night.
We know that? We know that was the only place?
Yeah, they've gone through and, like, actually, there's people that have done research on this and whatnot. And the guy that called in said that he was the manager at the Pizza Hut and he made it himself. All so, right. You know.
Then, yeah, I don't believe that guy. That guy, he was a manager 20-something years ago, and he remembers that.
I'm sorry.
1998, he remembers manager, or 90, was that 96?
98. 90.
No, that was 97.
97. Yeah, 97.
Yeah, that was 5.
23 years ago. Well, I mean, I guess if you got to make a pizza for Michael Jordan one time, like you'd probably remember that, especially if you're a gigantic Jordan fan. So, I mean, who knows? Like, he's gone on and done like multiple radio interviews.
I'm sure he has.
Matt said it was a Papa John's pizza in a Pizza Hut box delivered by a Domino's driver. Oh, my God. You guys are killing it today. He asked, Michael asked, did they have stuffed crust back then? Who knows? I mean, if they did, that's probably what happened. Ben said, who would invest in Pizza Hut? That's a good question. Probably somebody looking to make some money.
Lots of people, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, you say who would invest in Papa John's? Peyton Manning's made a buttload of money.
And now Shaquille O'Neal's
made a fortune off that shit.
Let's see. Joseph said that Super Supreme did not have peppers back in the day. And then Damien said Chuck E. Cheese poisoned MJ. Y'all are just destroying everything today, I swear. All right, let's dive off of that
15 minutes, I'm out.
Yep, I know. Let's dive off of that. Let's jump into – we got a feud going on in the NFL, buddy.
Tell me about it because I don't know anything.
I know that you have not paid attention to this, and that's okay. I'm going to catch you up. DeVante Parker answered an Instagram poll Monday night, and that set off Michael Thomas, right? The NFL on Fox's Instagram account asked, which is tougher, A, to make a catch while guarded by Stephon Gilmore, or B, break up a pass while guarding Michael Thomas? Now, first off, let me ask your opinion here. Which one's tougher?
To make a catch while being guarded by
Gilmore.
Stephon Gilmore. Or what was
to
the
break,
other one?
break up a pass while guarding Michael Thomas.
So is it easier basically to play offense or defense against the best player that does that?
Yeah.
I think it would be easier to play offense than defense. I think it'd be easier to catch the ball
against Stephon Gilmore.
Oh, no, I probably don't. I probably think it would be easier to stop a guy from catching the ball.
Okay. All right, so you go with B. Parker said A in the comments, which didn't sit well with the New Orleans Saints star receiver. Thomas replied, for you, yes. Go run some numbers up. Then you can talk. I laughed you, and you've been in the league longer than me, first rounder. Parker responded, said, got some hard feelings there, brother? Let me get targeted 300 times a game. So then Thomas continued the spat by writing, in other words, you weak. They don't even put your name in the same sentence as me. Remember that. And you're still not going to do nothing. It took you 6 years and 17 weeks to have a good game. GTFOH. Blame your parents. Not no quarterback. And then Parker responded and said, quit crying, bruh, including several laughing emojis. After a few more jabs by each receiver, Thomas posted the final words telling Parker, you can't even get a seat at the table. Now, how ridiculous is this? Like, I don't even think that was offensive, what Parker said.
Now, what Parker said is an opinion, and he's trying to not give bulletin board material to Stephon Gilmore, who he knows he's going to have to face. So it's probably smart. That's the right answer in that situation. But also, this is one of those weird hypothetical things where there is no real right or wrong answer. I mean, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And yes, I think first thing, two things are happening here. One, absolutely, Michael Thomas is just, he should not be punching down. I never liked the punching down, and he's absolutely punching down because Michael Thomas is up here. You're right. He is not in the same conversation as DeVante Parker. DeVante Parker will never be in the conversation that Michael Thomas is in.
Right.
They are not close to the same player. Not close. Parker can think it's because he gets 300 targets and he ain't. All right. You get the same amount of targets from Drew Brees. You ain't doing what Michael Thomas has done. That dude is elite.
Yeah.
We're not arguing that. But at the same time, this is a whole lot of like Kevin Durant-y soft. Too.
Yeah. This is
you're
why
a really
are you
good
on
player,
here?
But the fact that you're in your feelings about this
is
just
kind of ridiculous.
Petty.
Yeah, it's insanely petty.
It isn't like Jordan Petty, like, oh, that guy snubbed me once at a Dairy Queen, and so now I'm going to kill his family next time we play each other. Like, this is just like, you're never going to go against him in real life, so it doesn't matter. You both play offense. I think this is just petty and childish.
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
soft to me.
Ben jumps in here. He said, first off, Peyton poisoned the pizza. And then he said, DeVante is miles better than Thomas. Now, hold on before you even say anything. He said it's not even close. If you remove all, let's see, I don't even know what.
If you take all these other things away and you get down to this one thing,
Oh, he said if you remove all slants, in and out routes, and bubble screens, Michael Thomas had 12 receptions, 161 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
If you remove
all the things that he's good at.
3/4 of the production that he gets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael said
yeah, sure.
Michael on Twitch said this goes for everyone, not just professional athletes, but people are too damn sensitive. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yes.
100%.
Michael Thomas is definitely showing his ass here and being way overly sensitive.
Now,
way overly sensitive.
You know how we the preseason polls and the projections and all that kind of stuff. Let's dive into Ben here. He said DeVante was injured his first 2 years, and he's had Tannehill and Fitz. And then he said, if you hadn't figured it out, I'm a Fins fan. And he said Parker will go to the Hall of Fame with Tua, and Miami will win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years.
That's all false.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to have a massive hog too, but I don't. So it's just not going to happen. All right. It's just not in the cards, my man. It's just not. I'm sorry.
This is how you know that the offseason is getting to everybody. The fact that Michael Thomas is arguing with somebody that put their opinion up on a Twitter poll. Like, and I understand you got time because you're all at home. I get that. But why even respond? Like, why are you getting into a fight with somebody?
No,
like,
this
is so dumb.
I don't know. I don't.
Whole thing's so
dumb.
But
all he's doing is bringing attention to his opponent. All he's doing is making DeVante Parker look better and him look worse.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right, and you got to get out of here pretty quick. So let's go ahead and finish off the show with this topic. It was brought up today. There was an interview that LeBron James had with some other guys. And it was very interesting to me, if only because he said during the 2011 NBA lockout, he was training for the NFL. And Jerry Jones supposedly offered him a contract. Now, this was on the Going Deep podcast. And they said during the 2011 NBA lockdown, LeBron started training to be an NFL player. Jerry Jones sent him a contract. Imagine LeBron as a tight end MVP. This is like Jerry Jones. I could totally see this happening. By the way, like if it was any other owner, maybe not. I could see Jerry Jones offering LeBron James a contract because of the amount of merch, the amount of everything else that you could possibly sell. Like, this guy is worth so much money.
I fully believe that if LeBron James had one offseason and worked out and prepared to be a tight end, he could be a top 3 or 4 tight end in the league.
Yeah.
He's that level of athlete, okay? And he's got the size, he's got the speed, he would figure out the hands and the route running. He's that kind of a worker. He's that hard of a worker. He's able to do all the things that would make you an elite tight end. But it's also the easiest, it's like the least athletic position on the field overall.
Yeah,
I'm not saying these guys aren't athletes.
No. I'm saying it's
they're
gotten
not Jerry Rice and they're not Barry Sanders.
It's gotten better over the last decade?
Yes. But he would be a better athlete than so just athlete wise, he is a better athlete than any tight end in the game right now.
Agreed.
No question. Now, and I don't know that it's close.
No, I don't think it is close.
I think he would be a very good tight end. Okay. Let's
like, the only people you could compare him with would be wide receivers in the league. That's it.
Yes. I mean, Antonio
Gates
never played football in high school a day in his life. He was a basketball guy, but he wasn't good enough to play pro basketball. And somebody said, hey, let's get that big bastard on the football field. I bet he could box out, and I bet he could catch literally, you just need him for red zone targets. Because all you do in red zone target is it's rebounded. You just box out your guy and go up and get the ball. That's it. You're used to doing that your entire life. There's no doubt in my mind LeBron could do that.
Yes.
And he'd be very good at it. And he's an incredible worker, so he would figure it out. I mean, football is not rocket science, okay?
Yeah.
It's all about the time of the work. But we need to damper some of these things. While I think he would be a top 3 tight end in the league currently, right now, I don't know that all-time greatness is just given to anybody playing football, okay?
Well,
Doc Rivers,
there you go. Bring it up.
A guy that I respect and appreciate, won my Celtics a title, is showing the foolery of some of these guys that idol worship LeBron, okay? I quote, I really believe that if LeBron James had played football, he may have been the greatest football player to ever play. Really? Really? You think a tight end would be the greatest football player to ever play? We think he would be better than Randy Moss or Jerry Rice because that's who, at the position he's going to play, he's going to have to be better than.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if that's happening. T.O., I don't think so.
No.
I just don't.
I don't believe that he would be the greatest ever. Now, when you initially asked me just right off I said, yeah, I could maybe see that. But when you put it in that context, like the greatest football players ever are widely regarded as receivers and quarterbacks, and more so quarterbacks than anything else.
Well, and running back. Jim Brown is thought of as the greatest football player of all time until modern times.
It's guys that have the ball in their hands.
The conversation right now for greatest football player of all time is Tom Brady, Jim Brown, Jerry Rice. That's the list. And they all three did something so different, it's really hard to say what this guy did was so much better than what this guy did because they just don't do the same things.
Well, the truth might be that the greatest football player ever was actually a lineman and you just didn't pay attention. You know?
If that's the case, it's Joe Thomas. And I do believe that, by the way. I think he's in that conversation 100%.
Yeah,
We've never seen an offensive lineman be anywhere close. I mean, the separation between him and the next best offensive lineman of all time is Jerry Rice and the receivers. I mean, it's a chasm pretty big. So, and then we didn't even get into defense because for some reason we just never even considered defense when we're talking about the greatest of all time. But I'm sure now a little disgraced maybe, Me Too movement can't really talk about him, but Lawrence Taylor going to have something to say about that.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. That's actually let's jump into the comments to close out the show today because I know you got to get out here in like 6 minutes. Let's see. Matt said he can't flop that much in football. Yeah, I think he's still big enough to be able to do it. He flops because he can get calls.
I do, as much as I shit on LeBron, that's part of the game today.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I really hate it, and I want to discredit him for it. But if he played football, they don't flop in football. He wouldn't flop.
Agreed. Ben said Jason Witten was there. Michael said LeBron is doing about anything possible to get attention at this point. Speaking of too sensitive, he's been trying to get attention since The Last Dance was televised.
100%.
Of course he is. And can you blame him? I mean, my goodness. Matt,
I can blame him. Why does he have to have attention 24/7, 365?
He got asked to go on this podcast. Like, I ain't worried about
bullshit.
that.
No. He gets asked to do a million things a day. He does what he wants to do that gets him attention.
Agreed. Matt said one crossing pattern and his knees are taken out, being 6'9".
Oh, I don't know
there's
about
a lot
that.
of big dudes.
They tried to take Gronk's knees out his entire career, and they never did. Never. He broke his back, he broke his forearm, broke his collarbone a lot, but he never got his knees taken out. And they tried every game. You damn Steelers, the dirtiest team in the league. Tried every year. Couldn't do it.
Damian Estrada said LeBron is trying so hard to be like MJ, first Space Jam, now leaving basketball for another sport. What's next? Hall of Fame cry speech? Yeah, probably. Yeah, he's going to do that. MMA Buds jumps in for the first time. Fellas, how are y'all holding the stay at home? Are your states open? Yes, we're in Mississippi,
Tennessee. We're pretty open.
Yeah, we're pretty open. And we're fine. I mean, obviously we can do the show every day, so we're feeling all right. Michael said Gates was built different than LeBron. Yeah, I mean, LeBron's built different than anybody.
Gates is fatter than LeBron, but he ain't taller than him. He ain't bigger than him. He's just fatter. He had a lot more weight on him.
Yeah. MMA Bud said, will NCAA and NFL have full capacity crowds next year? Not at first and probably not for the entire season. That's just a guess. The Brown Yeti said, started early today. Yep. We got some stuff scheduled for this afternoon.
Yeah, it's my fault. I got a heart out. I got a job I got to get to.
It's all good. Let's see. Michael said, MMA Buds, I'm in Cali, and it's hit or miss. Going stir crazy, though. Matt said, how fast is he? He may have the endurance to run up and down the court, but he would be having to hit top speed more consistently running routes.
But hang on. His top speed, I assure you, is light years far. And this is probably going to be a presidential statement than Travis Kelce or Rob Gronkowski. Okay. I know they're white. I just assume they're a lot slower than him at top speed. I might be way wrong on that, but I think his top speed blows them away 3-4 times.
I'd be willing to bet that.
Not close.
You're right.
I know that people are going to say that's a racial thing, but I just assume LeBron James is a lot faster than Rob Gronkowski, who happens to be the greatest tight end that we've ever seen.
Yes. Ben said Larry Little, best lineman, Tony Baselli from Matt, Damian Estrada. Wait, so y'all saying LT's not the GOAT?
I didn't say LT's not the GOAT. I did not say that.
He's just not widely considered it because he didn't have the ball.
It's just really hard to control. It's just hard to judge a linebacker and a quarterback and a receiver, man.
Yeah.
The game is so different. Football is one that you're never going to be able to say this guy is the best of all time, because everybody, you can say he's the best at his position, but that's it.
But even then, everybody does
the
things
measuring
differently.
Stops.
So you could say that he is the best pure passer, best pure passing quarterback, or the best whatever.
You can say a guy's the best at a position overall, and it ain't close. You can argue the differences. That's fine, but you can have a definitive opinion about who the best at a position is. Okay? I think that's legal.
No,
I don't know how to compare a quarterback and a linebacker.
Michael said Tom Nalen is the best offensive lineman. Damian said, what about Khalil Mack? Mac's not there yet, but he's close.
Mac getting close to what LT was.
No,
now, the rules were different, though. I would say that. The rules were a whole lot different back then.
Joseph said, how are you going to out-jump LeBron? You're not. I mean, that's how you do it. You do a fade route. You do whatever in the end zone. I mean, that's
but
what
we got guys that could do that all day long, and for some reason it just never always worked out. Larry Fitzgerald was the best leaper of anybody that I remember ever seeing, and I used to ask, why don't they just throw the ball up? They can't guard him up, and you just can't do that every play.
Yeah, you get that right. Damian said, damn it, what about Walter Payton? Yeah, 100%. Like, there's a ton of fantastic players. Like, there's no way that you'll ever be able to determine exactly who is the best. Matt said LT was a beast. I mean, he was high on coke, broke Theismann's leg, and was still concerned about the man. Yeah, I mean, that's the way it goes.
Well, just because you're on cocaine doesn't mean you're a narcissist.
Michael, to close this out, by the way, he said Mac still isn't the best in today's game. Von Miller is way better. I think right now that might be pretty close. Like, I don't think Von Miller is It's
arguable. But
yeah, that's real arguable.
It's debatable. Nobody. You can't say definitively. Their careers are still in the process of being played out.
Yeah, but that's Michael's opinion, and who am I to argue with somebody's opinion? Cheers to that. We got our own opinions. We bring them every single day. Chris has got to get out of here. He's got to go knock some stuff out, and that is all good. We will be back tomorrow with everything that's going on, but make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure that you share out the show with your friends. We appreciate all the guys jumping in. You have been fantastic. As we say every day, you help drive the conversation, and we could not appreciate you any more than we already do. Hopefully, you guys feel that from the bottom of our hearts. For now, we're going to jump out. We're going to let Chris go do what he's got to do, and I've got to handle some business as well. So, until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for checking out Winning Cures Everything. If you want to keep up with us, hit subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Visit the website at winningcureseverything.com, or you can like us on Facebook or follow us at Winning Cures, at Gary WCE, or at Chris B. Giannini on Twitter. Share out the show, leave a nice review, and make sure to comment and tweet at us.